Hey, Kevin here, top 100 financial advisor, two-time author, one-time bestseller. We are here to talk about the stock market. I am extremely excited today, not because of what happened in the market, because I actually don't know, because I've been too focused on this. We've got the baby's social security number, which means we can start building generational wealth right now. So what I'm going to do today is take a stopwatch and set this to 0 and open an account right here to show you, how easy it can be and how quickly you can do this for you and your family. I'm also going to tell you what we're investing in. Now, I will say that with a strong caveat that these are the stocks that we are investing in. That does not mean that they are for you. By the time you're watching this video, it could be hours later, it could be years later. These stocks, by the time you look at them, may not be all that great. But also, I have a very specific philosophy that I am following that she will perhaps follow when she's old enough, and this is how we invest. So you're more than welcome to investigate these investments all you want, but I will explain why I like them, what I'm investing in for her, and we'll kind of go from there. But I do want to tell you, this ain't no recommendation. This ain't advice. I'm just telling you what we're doing. All right, so I'm going to get started. I will also say that you're going to see me for the most part because I'm not going to show her account information, but I will tell you where we're opening it and what I'm seeing on the screen so that you can follow along if you decide to open an account for your kids. All right, so there are two types of accounts that we are going to open. I'm going to open one right now, so I'm not going to bore you by putting in the same information twice, but I'm going to Fidelity. Fidelity is my favorite for this type of thing because they have so many options for, a joint account for me and my wife. I can get a Roth IRA. I can do a bunch of stuff for me and my kids at one spot. I love Public. I love Cash App for investing too, but those are very specific, and that's why I do like the extra money there. But the big generational things that I need to happens here at Fidelity. All right, so at the top, there's a button that says open an account. I already have an account here, so they've got me logged in, all that. I'm going to hit all accounts, and then I'm going to scroll down to about the middle part, and there you'll see options there. So for kids, you got two popular options and one kind of really special option, but one that doesn't apply to everybody. You got the 529 plan or the 529 account that allows you to primarily invest for education, mostly college. This allows you to invest on a tax advantage basis, which means you don't have to pay taxes. And that's great. And in some cases, you can lower your tax bill. And then you can pull it out and spend it all on education expenses, and you're good. The only thing is, and a lot of people are afraid of, well, what if they don't go to college? What if college is free? What if some billionaire pays off all the student loans and they don't have anything to spend for? What happens then? Number one, if you have other kids or if you want to go back to school yourself, you can assign the beneficiary and just make it you and spend it that way. Or you can still spend it. You're just going to pay, I don't know, a 10% penalty or whatever it may be, which no, that does not sound great. But I will tell you, it is better to pay a 10% penalty and still have 90% of your money to spend on whatever versus having no money saved at all and do nothing with. So again, you want to check your state and taxes and all that kind of stuff to see exactly how much you would pay if that even happens. My thing is have it as an option. What I don't want to do is have my kids go into student loan debt or any other types of debt for that matter, just because I was afraid that they didn't go. Have the money and have it ready. If they don't go, great. Switch to somebody else or use the money for something else, as opposed to, I wish I would have saved 18 years ago. All right, so there is one option you can do. You can also do a custodial account. I have both for my children. The reason I love custodial account, they're also known as UGMA or UTMA, UGMA and UTMA. It stands for Uniform Gifts or Transfers to Minors Act. This allows me to invest in almost anything I want in terms of the stock market, and I'm checking my timer because I didn't actually start it yet. It allows me to invest in almost anything I want in terms of like stocks, bonds, what have you. And it allows you or the kid when they turn 18 or 21, depending on the state, to spend it on what they want to spend it on. So down payment on a house, they can still use it for college if they wanted to, start a business, whatever it is they want to do, it's their money. You've invested in for them for 18 years or 21, and they can do what they want to do. You make the investment decisions now, and then they take it and run with it. They can also keep it and just continuously add on to it, which is great. That's how you can create a millionaire, by doing that. In the 529, you only really are limited to mutual funds and usually index funds in that case, which are great to have, but a lot of people are like, well, what if I got Apple? They could have had $800,000 if I did X, Y, and Z. Well, not in the 529 account because you only get those mutual funds, which are still good, but your options are a lot more limited there. Then you've got the Roth IRA for kids that you could open, but caveat there is they have to have what's called earned income, like a real job. I'm not gonna say a tax return, but they need to have a pay stub or something. So if your business is set up in the way that you can actually do that, then that is a very good way. That would be my main way. My business ain't set up like that yet. But when I get it set up like that, then that's where we're going to go. But that doesn't apply to everybody. Everybody doesn't have a business. So these are the two most popular if you're looking to create generational wealth for your kids. All right, so now we've got that set up. Let's go ahead and I'm going to hit custodial account again. I'm opening both, but I'm going to do a custodial account here, and then we'll go into the stocks I'm going to choose because I can't choose stocks in a custodial account. So it wouldn't make sense for me to talk about that one. All right. I'm sorry, in a 529 account. All right, so they're asking for name. Okay. And they're asking for social, which I just got today, which is great. Right, and then birthday. Here we go. She is a citizen. It's asking for a state. Right, address. All right, and next. All right, review and confirm. So it's got my name, her name, confirm information. There we go. And do you agree to the, now you want to read all the fine print. Now I've seen these plenty of times before because I see it every time I open an account. So I'm good there. Certify your tax information, which we have. All right, and open account. All right, your account is open and ready to fund. That was it. The account is officially open. That's all we needed. I don't think I didn't even press the timer button. My bad, I'm sorry. So now it's gonna ask you to fund your account, which means you put money into it, which I suggest that you do. Gives you an option, one-time transfer, recurring transfer, which means you're putting money in consistently, or you can transfer stuff from a different account, which you can do too, or you can download and print it. I don't know who does that. Who has a printer? I don't. So what I'm going to do is set up a recurring transfer, but before I do, I want to go and see what's in her brother's account so I can make sure they're on the same place. If I'm not mistaken, I think I put $50 a month in his college account, his 529, and $100 a month in his custodial account. That's what I think. I need to go back and double check that. I also need to add more money and just make it higher across the board, but I want to make sure they're getting the exact same amount. So it'd be hopefully in very, very similar places. Obviously the market can, differ what they may get at the end of the day. They won't probably have the exact same investments. This is my first thought. I'm a first-time parent of 2 kids, so I don't know how parents invest, if they have the exact same investments or not. I don't know. I will say they will both have the same index fund, but the other stocks outside of that, they'll probably be different because I know when they grow up, they may have different interests and they may want to invest in different things. So we will see there. This is my first time actually thinking about that part of it. Interesting. My wife and I don't have the exact same investments because she likes some stuff. I like other things. So we'll see. All right. So it's funded, or actually it's open. So I'm going to go to account overview so I can get the account number and all of that. And then it's giving me a survey. I don't want to do a survey. I just want to make sure it's here and everything is good on my end. And it is. All right, so that was it. The account is open. So now what I am going to do is I'm gonna pull up Yahoo Finance, and this is where I'm going to share the screen so you guys can see. Let's see and share. All right, so these are the stocks and things that we are going to choose for her and why. All right, so the first thing is I'm going to get her an index fund. The one I'm going to choose is ITOT. Why am I choosing this one? If I'm not mistaken, this is one of Fidelity's funds that is free, so there are no fees here. Index funds are always a good part of anyone's portfolio. This one is a total stock market ETF, which means that it owns all the stocks in the US, all of them. all of them. I don't have to put the pressure on myself to hope that I pick the best stocks. So if you're someone that doesn't really want to go through that whole process, you don't have to. An index fund is your cushion, it is your backbone, if you will. In reality, if you only did this, if you put all of your money here, did nothing else for your kid, you would actually be doing a very, very good thing. Now, because I have a lot more experience with the market, I think I can get this, but also do just a tiny bit better. And that's where these other stocks are going to come into play. Also, quick break. If you are curious about the whole account process and actually want to see me open it, this is a section in the Investors Toolkit, which you do want to click. I'll put the link in the description, the comments, so you can go and do that. All right, so this is going to be our core. So I don't, again, let's say if it's $100 a month, let's say it's $200 a month, whatever it is, the majority of the money will go into this. So I don't know if it's going to be 50% or 60%, whatever it is, the majority of her money will be in this. All right, so that's number one. Now, we're going to have a few stocks. I don't have like a limit right now. I don't want to have more than 20 stocks because that's a lot. I'm thinking in my mind, because most of the money is going to go into this index fund, I'm thinking somewhere between 5 to 10, a number I can keep track of, and a number that if something happens, I instantly know, like, hey, this is that stock, she has it, she needs to buy more or sell more or whatever. Also, my process is right now it's August. I like to have a 6-month process where I invest now and then let things play out for 6 months and come back and see who stays and who goes. I want to keep everybody in the family on the same schedule. So she was born in August. We're going to stick with August. She's only going to get 4 months for the first round. Oh, well. This is going to keep everybody on the same page. She'll be all right. She'll catch up come June of 2021. All right, so the first stock that we are going to look at is Nvidia, which is one of my favorites, at least as of late. I think I actually own it on Cash App. I don't have it on Fidelity, or also don't have it on public because I test different apps to help you guys out. All right, so Nvidia, clearly they're in the tech space. They have done incredibly well. They have some good news today, but anything that we know, not anything, we know that tech stocks tend to be good, and at least right now. And this may change, which is why I mentioned at the very beginning, or at least I thought I did, what we invest in is what we invest in. By the time you decide to do it, tech stocks may not be good anymore. I don't know. So this is just what we're doing now. And now if we come back in December for her and it ain't got it, Nvidia got to go. I have no ties to any of these. My son's first stock, I think he had JetBlue, Intel, and something else. We let go of it. We let go of JetBlue. It didn't do what we needed to do. It had to go. Intel is next if it doesn't get its act right between now and December. You're not doing me or my kids right. You got to go. So that's the process that we use. So Nvidia is one. They make chips and video game equipment and computers. That's what we're doing. We're also doing Apple. I don't need to show you a chart for Apple. Y'all know the deal with Apple. Yes, they've been down after the split, which was expected, but they got a history. They have a very, very good history. We're also going to add Clorox. Clorox, surprisingly, has done pretty well recently, especially because of the pandemic and people buying bleach and other things. But Clorox up 36%. Now, in context, I mean, look, Nvidia's up 183%. That's ridiculous. But 36% is still good. The average, I think, over the past year, the average being the S&P 500. Just gonna click this and just give you context here. Let me make this red. All right, so the overall market is up 12%. So anything over 12 is good. So 36%, we're doing that. I also want to give her some diversity. I don't want to put everything in tech because as we saw, at least over the last few weeks, or really probably 2 weeks, tech had been kind of shaky. And if you had all your money in tech, you were not happy. So I want to make sure she has a little bit of diversity, and that's where we're going with Clorox. I also want to give her Costco and Walmart. We've got Costco here, and we're going to make Costco green. And then you got Costco, 17%, much closer to the overall stock market. And then Walmart. I don't know why Walmart's not showing up. That is odd. There we go. All right, we're going to leave Walmart blue. And Walmart is at 16%. So Costco and Walmart, and maybe I'll rethink this. I mean, I'm not gonna say they're the same company, but they almost are. So both of them are just above the stock market right now. We've got Apple. I'll throw Apple on here just for context. Oops, I want to hit comparison here. All right, Apple up 110%. So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, these are the 5 stocks we're going to invest in, and then we're also going to get that ETF that I showed you earlier, ITOT. That is the total stock market fund. So it's going to own all these things anyway. We're trying to do just a tad bit better and give her a little bit of diversity. Again, these are the ones I'm going to go with once her funds move, unless we see something otherwise. I may rethink Costco and Walmart. Again, they do almost the same thing. My guess, I haven't looked into it just yet. My guess is that Walmart pays a bit more in dividends. Mom owns Walmart. She's owned Walmart for the longest, actually. So maybe we'll do what Mom does and just get Walmart. We'll see. We'll see which one we do. We could also change and see. That's just the last year. Which one had done best over the last 2 years? I mean, they're still almost the same there. So we'll see. But we do know I do want her in tech. I do want her in something a little bit different than tech, which would be Clorox, and then something that's gonna stay basic, which is the Walmart and the Costco. So this list may, it will add over time. Her brother owns like maybe 8 or 9 stocks that we like. He does own Apple, that I do know. And we'll see where it goes. So this is what she's going to get right now. This will change. This will be fluid. And, for starters, I'll probably start off on like $100 a month and then consistently change that as the family continues to grow. But this is how generational wealth starts. This is how it starts. Tiny amounts. If you only got $50 and you're doing fractional shares, get an index fund. You can still do well by doing that, because 10 years from now, she's going to be a lot wealthier than what you were at 10. And low key, she can be a lot wealthier than you were at 20 if you start right now. I think my son is crossing the $4,000 or $5,000 mark. I don't think I had $5,000 until maybe after college. It might have been after college. I had $5,000 to my name, and he has it at age 2. Imagine what he's going to have at age 5, age 10, age 15. This is how it starts. So you got to start early and allow things to compound. It does not take a lot. He's only been investing like $100 a month. If I can get him to $200 or $300 or $400 a month, he's really going to be set. So whatever you can do what you can. Start with where you are, and anything is better than nothing. Even if if you're taking a risk, like, yes, there's a chance that you won't have anything at the end of the day. That's true, but we know from the stock market, it almost never goes down to zero. And we know, especially over spans of time, we're talking 5-10 years, the stock market almost always recovers and almost always goes up, almost always. So you're going to be good there. We also have a savings account for her. She's got a few $100s there. It's a savings account, which she needs to have too, because something happens. Hey, we may buy her car out of her savings and not her investment account, because I want this to continue to grow for as long as possible. All right, so that is it for me. You just saw me or watched me open our account in less than a minute, 2 minutes. And now you know what we're going to invest in, at least for now. You know my process. So if you want to learn more about how you can start investing for yourself, how do you choose quality stocks like this, and most importantly, how do you test out these investments so that you don't lose your kids' money, or that you don't lose your own money? How do you make sure that these stocks are good, that they're going to make you money, or have the greatest chance of success? Because if I didn't know that, I wouldn't be up here teaching you. And if I didn't know that, I would be afraid to invest too. You don't have to. You also don't have to have tons of money to do this. The accounts that I opened, $0 for me to do. If I only got $15, I can still invest in these stocks, even though they are $100 a share, $200 a share, $500 a share. There are ways to do that. All those things I teach you inside the Investors Toolkit. Don't make the mistake of waiting. Don't make the mistake of saying, hey, I'll do this next year. I'll wait until my kids are 15. I'll wait until my kids are 5. Don't wait. Open the account and start with whatever you can, even if it's a little. That is going to benefit them down the line. The smarter you get about the stock market, the more times you share this video, the more times that you come out and learn about the market, the better and easier things will be for yourself. Again, you want to take the shortcut, check out the Investors Toolkit. I'll add a discount. I'll do that. I will add a discount to the video as well, because I really want you to build generational wealth for you and your family, because I believe so much in this, because I saw what it could have done for me. In 2010, 10 years ago, actually, it was around this time, around August in the summer, that was actually September now, but in August, I worked for an investment firm. I was a terrible intern. At like the second to last day, I realized if my parents had put in just $1,000 a year in Apple at that time in 2010, when I was like 21 or going on 21, I could have had $814,000 if they invested in Apple. But my parents didn't know how. They didn't have this information. Custodial accounts were easy to open online in less than a minute. There weren't Black financial advisors that looked like them that said, hey, look, this is what you need to do now. And my life is completely different. Now, my life is fine, but if I had 800,000 at 21, no student loan debt, what house would I have? What car would I have? What debt would I not have? What business, how my business look different if I didn't have to start at zero on a college kid's budget versus 800,000? Like, how different would things be? And how different would our communities be if everyone had the access to do that? $1,000 a month is only $83. $1,000 a year is only $83 a month. That's not a whole lot. That's what, $21 a week, give or take. That's relatively easy to do. Now, that doesn't mean that each of these stocks are going to do that again over the next 10, 15, 20 years, but it is a start. If you got half of that, you would still be really good. If you didn't get anywhere near that and you got, I don't know, $10,000 at 20, that's still better than where most people start. But the only way you could have done that is by starting now. So add a discount code, make sure you check it to start building generation wealth now. All right, that's it for me. I will see y'all later. I appreciate y'all for coming out. Make sure that you share this video. Again, we just opened my baby girl's investing account in like less than, 2 minutes or so. So I'll make sure that you guys have the information and that you are able to start now. And when she's a millionaire, you'll know why, right? All right, talk to you later. Bye.